Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, December 8th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, WHLR. Big mover today, and now some very well-defined levels. So let's get these mapped out. First level that you got to think a lot of people are watching is just this overall resistance line right there. So while that doesn't guarantee anything, it does make it valid to think that if the price could come up here and break through there, that break right there could create upside buying pressure. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but certainly a more than valid scenario. So if you like to play breakouts, certainly keep an eye on that. And then from the support side of things, a well-defined lower trend line right there. Let me change that to green for support. And then just to convert this into an overall bullish pattern, we have our area of resistance, our area of support. We have the big upwards move right there. And for you golfers, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Again, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed that if the price comes up here and breaks through it, it's going to go. But is this at least a valid question to throw out there? Absolutely. So if you like stocks down below $10, you like bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, IRBT. And this is somewhat tricky to talk about from a presentation standpoint because there's a lot of perspectives that go into it. If you are some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, or whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, or maybe you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then from that standpoint, yeah, the chart's looking really, really rough because clearly there was a bigger pullback today. With that said, if you care about things from the bigger picture standpoint, the overall chart is still perfectly fine. And I'm not saying it's going to do this, but let's just say the price actually pulls back some more. So again, green for support, pulls back some more and goes down to that area right there at $3.46. So comes down here, behaves like that, and then starts to curl back up. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture standpoint, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows here, you'd have lows here, you'd have lows here. And if you envision each one of those, you got kind of a little stair right there. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Again, and this is on big picture. From the big picture standpoint, you'd still very clearly have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. Again, I'm well aware that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these stair steps. But that's why I'm trying to make it clear that from an overall standpoint, even with the pullback, the price is still having a chance to build a higher base. And then in terms of levels of resistance right now, just going back to a level that you got to think a lot of people have drawn. Keep an eye on that trend line here moving into next week. But all in all, like I said, big picture wise, still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. Next one, PAVS. Crazy mover today, a whole lot of volume. And now we have some interesting levels. And the level that stands out to me is this lower trend line. So by using that and then connecting that level, you can see, so again, just to make it clear, whoops, let's get that out of the way. There we go. So by using this area and this area, notice how good of a job it did of forecasting where that location was. Now, does that mean that for sure guaranteed if the price comes down here, it is for sure guaranteed going to bounce again? No, there are no for sure guarantees. My point here is it at least valid? Is it at least plausible to think that if the price goes down there again, could it get some sort of bounce? And yeah, I think that is a more than plausible scenario. So if you like to play trendline bounces, that area could be pretty interesting. And then from the resistance side of things, main battleground to watch right now, keep a close eye on, is that purple line there, that 50-period moving average. You can see it's not necessarily a problem of breaking through the level. Right there, it broke through it. The problem is staying above it. Right there, once again, broke above it, could not stay above it. So yes, right there at 0.0395, that will be the key level of resistance. But the true test is going to be not only can the price break above it, but stay above that level moving forward. But all in all, a lot of volume today. It's proven that it can move pretty quickly, so we'll see what next week has to offer. Next one, BBAI. This will mean a little bit more if you watch the previous videos I've done on this one, but overall, nothing really changed today. Now, I realize that today individually from a day trading standpoint, sure, there was quite a bit of movement. The price was, up here, then it came down, and then it bounced. So yes, all of that is true. I'm just making more so the comment of the key levels that I mapped out. And again, this will mean a little bit more if you watch yesterday's video, but I talked about right around that 650 mark as a key area of support. And wouldn't you know it, price pulled back here, and absolutely beautiful bounce right off that area. Now, I understand if you think I just put that line there. I'm not offended at all. Just go back and watch the video from Thursday, and you'll see that I had that line there. Not bragging about myself, but I am bragging about charts. Charts are a great tool. But anyways, good to see that that level did hold. And not only did it hold, it produced a nice little bounce in the upwards direction. So moving forward, yes, 650-ish, right around there, remains that important area of support. If the price is going to continue to bounce upwards, then nothing new here to report. The level that I mapped out previously right there is still the key area of resistance right up there at $7.15. But overall, sure, it pulled back today. But big picture-wise, the price still has plenty of opportunity to build a higher low. Did a great job of holding that low right there. So we'll see if the momentum and the trend continues on into next week. Next one, BYND, and overall, good solid week. And this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while. But if you have, I'm sure you've seen stocks make great moves, and then pretty much they give back their gains and go right back to where they started. So sure, this one did pull back a little bit, but by no means, in any way, shape, or form, did it actually go back to where it was before the breakout, right? This is where it was before the breakout. So if I extend that out, you can see, sure, it pulled back a little bit, but did not fall back inside of that box, because that would have been a situation where the price or where the breakout ultimately went right back to where it was. So from that angle alone, things are maintaining the gains. That's what you want to see. From an overarching standpoint, you got to think that a lot of people have drawn a trend line very similar to this one right here, give or take a little bit. So right up here around $1.45 looks like the key battleground to watch moving forward. And then the main area of support will be that pink line right there for the reason that I just discussed. If the price were to drop below that area, which right now valid at, we'll call it $1.06, then that starts to put the price back inside of that range where it was before the breakout even happened. And again, price movements with true strength are not going to go back to where they were. They're going to at least make some sort of progress forward. As long as it can stay above there, I would consider that a sign of progress. Real quick, I want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that maybe pertains to you, and that is your desire to be a day trader. And I'm defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every day, but you can't because of that pattern day trend rule. Well, please be aware that there is another market available in the market, and there is a way to access this market in a very, very small risk kind of way. Now, I do understand that this may all sound too good to be true, but it's not. There is another market with zero pattern day trade rule. So for very small amounts of money, you can have unlimited day trades every single day. But I understand if this sounds sketchy, which is why I say, come check out my live stream. Watch me do it. It's exactly what I've been doing, and you can witness it with your very own eyes and ask me any sort of questions that you may have. So if you're sick and tired of the pattern day trade rule, if you want to have a low risk way to enter into a market that trades very nicely and you can make as many trades as you want every single day, then definitely check out the live stream. Next one, ticker symbol NVDA. And overall, things are pretty much the same that I talked about in previous videos. The one note is we have more data now on this resistance line that I talked about previously, and it's going to be looking like one of these very tricky resistance areas. Why? Well, because it's not a matter of breaking through the level. You can see right there, it broke through it. Right here this morning, broke through it. The tricky part becomes, as I mentioned in a previous one, staying above it. So moving forward into next week, you just got to be a little skeptical, because even if the price were to come up here and break through it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a true, genuine breakout, especially like I said, when this one has a track record of doing those fake breakouts. But nonetheless, continue to watch that resistance line. I will say, though, in the near term, before you put too much emphasis on that level, price first needs to prove itself by getting up above the pink line right there, which you can see behaved as resistance. And that pink line is the 200 period moving average, currently valued at 182.40. In terms of areas of support, the level to watch from the overarching standpoint is going to be that 178.50 mark. A more preferable level, when you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best moving forward? That would be if the price can stay up above that area right there. But again, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything like that. But 178.50, I would say, is a more important area to ideally keep the price up above. Next one, ONDS, and not a whole lot to update other than the fact of this level that I've talked about previously at 917 is indeed one of these very annoying areas, which is kind of now becoming a theme here on this video. These stubborn, these tricky breakout levels, because back here 917 acted like it wanted to break out. Nope, just kidding. And then once again here, acted like it wanted to break out. Nope, just kidding, back down it went. Right here, acted like it wanted to break out. Nope, just kidding, back down it went. Now, the good news is the price is getting closer and closer to staying right around that level. So that's, that's something positive to look at. But nonetheless, this 917 mark remains very, very stubborn area, very annoying level. So keep in mind that remains public enemy number one. Even if the price gets above it, I would be skeptical until the price can really prove itself and show that it truly has established itself by staying up above it. As far as areas of support, nothing new here. Still got that purple line there, that 50 period simple moving average. So as the name implies, that line's going to keep on moving higher and higher. So preferably speaking, the price staying above there would be the best case scenario. But even if the price comes down there and drops below it, I wouldn't call that the end of the world because you still do have the 850 mark over here as a secondary level of support. But yes, as of now, the price, it is knocking on the door of 917, but can the price actually get above it and stay above it is the key question next week. Next one, SOFI, and everybody and their brother's uncle next week, got to think, going to be keeping an eye on the pink line right there, which you know is that 200 period simple moving average. As of right now, you can see the price is just slightly below that level. So key area of resistance right there around $27, and let's just call it 80 cents as being that key battleground to watch. And if the price can push up through there, again, that guarantees nothing, but it does create some space on the chart. If you look at, kind of just the distance between these two moving averages here, next overarching level of resistance, not until up around the $29 mark. Again, I'm not saying that if it breaks, it's going straight up there, but there does seem to be some potential to pick up some momentum if that can happen, especially when it gets beat down that bad like it did today. And the other part that makes all this interesting is there is a nice little upward slope to it. So throughout the course of the day, the price did slowly and steadily build those higher lows. Now, building higher lows doesn't mean that it will break that level. It just brings it a little bit more plausibility that maybe the price is getting ready to do so. But certainly an interesting setup into next week. Next one, TDIC. I'm going to go through this one a little quicker because I've already talked about the bull pennant pattern previously. So I want to respect your time as much as possible. So let's just get this into play. The one difference here is I'm actually not going to use a lower trend line. I'm just going to use that pink line there, that moving average, as the lower trend line for the pattern. So let me just turn this into one color, make it a little bit easier to see. So there's our area of resistance. Again, we'll just use this moving average as the lower trend line. There's the bottom part. Here's a big explosion up. And then the golfers out there for the golf hole. So here we have the bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be on a penny stock. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, DBRG, and crazy mover today. And we'll have to see what this one delivers next week. But let's map out first a couple areas of support. So the ideal level of support, what would be the level that would make this look the absolute strongest? That would be right there at 1360, but if the price falls below there, by no means does that make anything ruined or anything like that. But that would certainly be quite impressive. Next area of support after that, down here at 1240. And then just from the overarching standpoint, as I've talked about with some of these other ones, keyword here being moving average. So as time goes by, that purple line is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's essentially like a trend line that's drawn itself for you. So as long as the price remains above the trend line, then overall the trend is still building those higher bases. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, no need to overcomplicate this. Just ask a very basic question. Where did the party finally stop today? And it stopped up there at 1485. So like I said, no fancy logic behind anything other than that. So 1485, key battleground to watch. But yes, anyway, look at it. Monster movement today, great volume. Will the momentum carry into next week? Definitely grab your popcorn. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you want to get into another market, and quite frankly, this market moves way better than small caps and low floats anyways, but most importantly, no pattern day trend rule. You have very little of your own capital at risk. Then definitely check out the link or just swing by the live stream and see it with your very own eyes, because I'll be the first to admit it does sound a little too good to be true. It sounds a little sketchy, but it's not. So like I said, swing by the live stream, see it with your own eyes, ask me any sort of questions that you may have. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button, and everybody have a great weekend.